Okay, so in terms of trading, we're not trading based on some kind of gut feeling. We're not trading based on emotions. Profitable trading just comes down to having a way of having an edge or a money-making strategy. Professional traders call this a statistic advantage. And so in trading, we're living in a realm of probabilities, in randomness, but we have probabilities over large sample sizes. So the part of the brain that really has trouble with this is the ancient brains that we have. It takes years and years for a brain to adapt to a new environment. And our environment 20,000 years ago was either we have certainty or we die. So 20,000 years ago, if you lost a battle with a saber-toothed tiger, then you would be not alive anymore, right? So that's the same way our brain, in a very similar way, thinks about losing money. Money is a huge part of our lives. It is by far one of the most important things to make sure we eat. We have a roof over our heads so we can stay away from predators outside, so we can stay out of the elements. It is a huge part of our survival. And because of that, when you're watching your money go up and down, mostly when you're watching it go down, it triggers this part of your brain that has an immense amount of fear, almost as if you were face to face with a predator that could potentially end your life. Because again, we base so much of our livelihoods around money, and for good reason. Again, they provide us with food so we don't starve. They provide us with a household so we can live, right? So there's a good reason behind it. But in trading, what we have to realize, for one, as I just said, trading is uncertain. Every time I press the buy or sell button, when I press it on that single trade, I have no idea what's going to happen. We don't know if that one trade is going to be a win or a loss. And that's okay. But what we have to do is make our brains understand that's okay. Because otherwise, every time we start losing money, it's going to trigger that uncertainty. It's going to trigger that fear. And we're going to either jump out of the trade or start making some really emotional decisions. And emotions don't belong in trading. That's how people either slowly bleed or quickly blow their accounts. So what we have to do is find a way to keep that uncertainty from coming up. And just to harp on this a little further, again, in trading, we are living not in the world of certainty, but in the world of probabilities that play out over a large sample size. As I was saying, one single trade, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can make a pretty accurate prediction over what's going to happen over the course of 100 trades based on a certain trading strategy. So we have probabilities over the long term, but randomness over the short term. And what we have to do is make our brains okay with that randomness over the short term. And the way that we do that is with two separate things. One of them is belief. We need to believe that our strategy is going to produce a profit over that large sample size. Otherwise, that one potential trade that loses or that 4 in a row trades that lose, we have no shot of continuing to trade. We will be so fearful, so uncertain that we will either skip to another strategy. You may go find a new educator. So until you, and you may have done this over and over until now, but until you get a handle on your emotions, profitable trading is nearly impossible. So we have two ways we do it. Yet again, the first way is belief. Now, before we move on, how do you get belief in a strategy? Well, this is the importance of backtesting and demo trading. You must backtest the strategy not only to see that it's at least made a profit in the past, but also to improve your belief so that you tackle one of those issues we have with the uncertainty in our brain, and therefore you can have better trading psychology moving forward. Trading psychology is going to be just as important as having a winning strategy. So in order to tackle that trading psychology, the first step is to be sure you do the backtesting process so that you can actually have an idea of what to expect in real markets. And that will do a ton for your trading psychology, because in your backtesting, if you see you had 4 or 5 losses in a row, but still came out profitable over the course of a year, over the course of 100 trades, over the course of a month, whatever it may be, then you're going to have a little bit more certainty in your brain when that happens in real markets with your real hard-earned money. So the first way is backtesting. 2, we need to demo trade for between 1 to 3 months, maybe even longer once we have all of our backtesting complete, because 1, that's going to be sure or ensure that you can complete the strategy, that you can implement the strategy even with all your prior obligations. If you have kids, if you have to sleep like everyone does, then you're going to have prior obligations. So this gives you the ability to be sure that you can still implement that strategy even with your prior obligations. But the other thing demo trading for 3 to 6 months does, or 1 to 3 months, whatever you choose, whenever you're comfortable, you can trade live. But I always suggest between 1 and 3 months of demo trading because it also will help you with that first step of trading psychology, which is belief. If you see your strategy in real markets, I'm not talking about demo trading like most people do, going out there and placing random trades and going, hey, I'm up in 3 months, cool. Whenever they didn't have any kind of plan at all, that is absolutely useless. But if you go out and demo trade with an actual trading plan that you've tested and optimized, and you do not break from your rules, and in 3 months you see that that made profit, that's another chip away at that uncertainty and puts certainty in the brain from 20,000 years ago that's like, oh, I need to be certain that I'm going to win this fight against the saber-toothed tiger. Well, this is how we do that in a trading world, is backtesting and demo trading will increase that belief and knock out some of that uncertainty in the back of your brain. The next way that we ensure we have less uncertainty is by having a good risk management plan. As I said, our money is our livelihood. It's how we eat. It's how we live. It's how we do things we enjoy. It's how we pay bills. It's how we do everything for the most part. So with that being the case, the less you lose on a trade, the less potential loss you have on a specific trade, the less uncertain you're going to be, the less your mind is going to go, that old brain's not going to go, oh man, I'm going to die from losing $10. Not if you have, $500, that $10 isn't going to matter as much. If you have $1,000 account and you're risking the entire $1,000 on one trade and that's your life savings, your brain's going to freak out if you don't have a risk management plan in place that keeps you from losing all that money. It's like being face to face with that saber-toothed tiger. It's like being face to face with whatever could kill you 20,000 years ago, right? Face to face with starvation, whatever it may be, because at that point you're risking all of your livelihood on one specific trade. Going all in on Dogecoin is a great example of this. That's literally, if you go all in with every bit of money you have, you're risking your livelihood in order to try to make potential gains. And the amount of uncertainty that comes with produces an incredible amount of fear. So as traders, the way we create good trading psychology is with belief and good risk management, so that when we're placing trades, we're not placing them with our entire account value. We're not placing them with no risk management, meaning no stop loss, without an area we know we're getting out, and without knowing exactly how much we're going to lose when we get out of that trade if we are wrong. In trading, losing is a part of it. It's not something we're used to. That 20,000-year-old brain, if you lose the fight against the saber-toothed tiger, you do not live anymore. So losing is not something we're accustomed to inside of our emotional brains. So what we have to do is take away the pain of losing. In trading, again, the way we do that is with belief and with risk management. I wanted to throw that in there. All right, guys, so that was a clip from some new educational material I'm working on for our VIP members area. I wanted to throw it out there, though, because of a lot of the things that are going on. We have a lot of new traders coming into the markets without a grasp on trading psychology or risk management. So hopefully that was able to help you out a little if that's something you're dealing with. If it did, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We come out with content like this each and every week. Make sure to go ahead and click that like button for me as well if you did enjoy the content. That helps out with the YouTube algorithm, I think. Who knows, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and click it if you don't mind. With that said, if you're interested in learning more about trading psychology and some more advanced material about trading, we do have some availability in the EAP Training Program. It's linked as the top link below in the description. Otherwise, that's totally fine too. Just make sure you keep it locked here by subscribing, and I'll talk to you in the next video. See you soon.